बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस एसी भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य बीबीटी फाउंडर आचार्य सेवियर ऑफ द वर्ल्ड शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी महाराज शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रजभूमि वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगा मैया यमुना मैया की जय। भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। सामवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। पतित पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। श्री श्री रुक्मिणी द्वारकाधीश की जय। श्री श्री रुक्मिणी द्वारकानाथ की जय। श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय। श्री श्री गौर निताय की जय। शील प्रभुपाद की जय। शील प्रभुपाद ट्रांसेंडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जायामुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3rd, Chapter 13, The Appearance of Lord Varaha. Text 40. Yeah. Damshtagrakottya bhagavamstaya dhrita virajate bhudhara bhusumodharaha यथावनान्नि सरतो दता धृता मत्तः गजेन्द्रस्य सपत्रपद्मिनी दंष्ट्राग्रकोट्या भगवंस्तया धृता विराजते भूधरा भुः सुमूधरः यथावनान्यः सरतो दता धृता मत्तः गजेन्द्रस्य सपत्रपद्मिनी दंष्टाग्रकोट्या भगवंस्तया धृता विराजते भूधरा भुः सुमूधरा यथावनान्यः सरतो दता धृता मत्तां गजेन्द्रस्य सपत्रपद्मिनी। दंष्ट्राग्रकोट्या भगवांस्तया धृता विराजते भूधरा भूसमुधरा मत्तान् गजेन्द्रस्य सपत्रपद्मिनी यथा वनानि सरतो दता धृता मत्तान् गजेन्द्रस्य सपत्रपद्मिनी दंष्ट्राग्रकोट्या भगवांस्तया धृता विराजते भूधर भूसुमूधरा यथा वनानि सरतो दता धृता मत्तान् गजेन्द्रस्य सपत्रपद्मिनी दंष्ट्राग्रकोट्या भगवांस्तया धृता विराजते भूधरा भूसुमूधरा यथा वनानि सरतो दता धृता मत्तान् गजेन्द्रस्य सपत्रपद्मिनी दंष्ट्राग्रकोट्या भगवांस्तया धृता विराजते भूधरा भूसमुधरा यथा वनानि सरतो दता धृता मत्तान् गजेन्द्रस्य सपत्रपद्मिनी विष्णु दंष्ट्राग्रकोट्या भगवांस्तया धृता विराजते भूधरा सुभूधरा यथा वनानि सरतो दता धृता मत्तान् गजेन्द्रस्य सपत्रपद्मिनी दंष्ट्राग्रकोट्या भगवांस्तया धृता विराजते भूधरा भूसमुधरा यथा वनानि सरतो दता धृता मत्तः गजेन्द्रस्य सपत्रपद्मिनी दंष्ट्राग्रकोट्या भगवांस्तया धृता विराजते भूधरा भूसमुधरा यथा वनानि सरतो दता धृता मत्तान् गजेन्द्रस्य सपत्रपद्मिनी दंष्ट्राग्र the tips of the tusks, kotya by the edges, Bhagavan, O personality of Godhead, Tvaya by you, Dhrita sustained, Virajate is so beautifully situated, Bhudhara, O lifter of the earth, Bhu, the earth, Sa Bhudhara, with mountains, Yatha, as much as, Vanat, from the water, Niharshrataha, Nishrataha, coming out. Data, by the tusk. Dhrita, captured. Mattam Gajendrasya, infuriated elephant. Sapatra, with leaves. Padmini, lotus flower, the lotus flower. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki cha. Translation. O lifter of the earth with its mountains, which you have lifted with your tusks, is situated as beautifully as a lotus flower with leaves, sustained by an infuriated elephant just coming out of the water. Purport. The fortune of the earth planet is praised because of its being specifically sustained by the Lord. Its beauty is appreciated and compared to that of a lotus flower situated on the trunk of an elephant. As a lotus flower with leaves is very beautifully situated, so the world, with its many beautiful mountains, appeared on the tusks of the Lord bore. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Stam Sajivam Sadhvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhye Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukham karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Guru Deenatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. So I seek blessings of all devotees so that I can speak something for pleasure of Lord, glorifying Lord for all of your pleasure and for my purification. So after few days of Gaur Katha, we are back in Srimad Bhagavatam. His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj so nicely immersed us in Gaur Leela. So we are here in Srimad Bhagavatam where Vidura and Maitreya, they are discussing, and then there is this appearance of Lord Varaha is getting described. In this verse said that is glorifying Lord Varaha. O lifter of the earth with its mountains, which you have lifted with your tusks, is situated as beautifully as a lotus flower with leaves, sustained by an infuriated elephant just coming out of the water. So we'll see three things today. First, that how anything that comes in connection with Lord, it becomes more beautiful. Like here it is described the earth, because it was carried by Lord, it became more beautiful. It appeared more beautiful. The second thing we'll discuss is that can material analogies describe the Supreme Lord? Here the analogy is given, that of a elephant carrying a lotus flower. And third, we'll discuss some beauty of Lord, how he is beautiful. So we know that earth, it was sunk in the bottom of Garbhodak ocean, and then the ocean is considered as not so clean, like place. It's a filthy place, and Lord has to come and he has to lift that earth. So he took an appropriate form. Generally, shukara means shu shu karoti iti shukaraha, means one who always sniffs. It's like this. So those who have seen pigs, they generally, their nostrils are very active. They're like sniffing around. So Lord took that form, and he went on sniffing, and then we know, he lifted the earth on his tusks. Those who have visited India, here in US we don't see pigs around. They are generally only in farms, and for kids, sometimes we go and see them. They are pretty pinkish, and kids play around. But in India, if we see, they are not like that. They are black, and it's pretty much not so clean, basically, right? But when Lord appeared as this, Shukarupa, is described as one of the most beautiful personality. When I think Yudhurani Mataji, she was drawing the painting of Lord Boar, she asked Prabhupada, what should we, how should be depicted about color and how many hands or hoofs. And Prabhupada gave the description, and along that he said that make it as beautiful as possible. Because actually, Lord Boar is very, very beautiful. So, and in this verse, is described as, he is so beautiful already, and then when he takes that earth on him, even the earth becomes more beautiful, with its mountains. So generally, anything which comes in touch with Lord, it becomes more beautiful. We know that Putana, came to kill Krishna, and when Krishna started sucking her milk, she came in a very attractive form, like a celestial lady. But when Krishna started sucking, she could not control the pain, and she assumed her original form, which was 9 miles long, very hideous. And of course, Krishna delivered her, and when they burned her body, Nanda Maharaj comes back and they burned her body. Nice fragrance came out, very beautiful fragrance. So everybody was wondering, how come? She was a demon. She had done so many sinful activities, but because she came in contact with Krishna, therefore, even her material, useless body, there was a fragrance in it. Same way, when Lord Varaha, he lifted the earth started looking more and more beautiful. There is another verse in Bhagavatam, which says that the ornaments are already beautiful, right? But when Krishna wears them, the beauty of the ornaments becomes even more beautiful. It's not that Krishna needs, jewels or garlands to look beautiful. Krishna is naturally, all beautiful. But when the ornaments are wore, they become more beautiful. So same way here, so that verse is, yeah. So this comes in Chaitanya Charitamrut, Madhya Lila. भूषणेर भूषणांग ताहेत ललित त्रिभंग ताहार ऊपर बहुमुख नर्तन तिरिचे नेत्रेर बाण तार धार संधान विंध्य राधा गोपी गणमान. Ornaments case that body, but the transcendental body of Krishna is so beautiful that it beautifies the ornaments he wears. Therefore, Krishna's body is said to be the ornament of ornaments. Enhancing the wonderful beauty of Krishna is his three-curved style of standing. Above all these beautiful features, Krishna's eye dance and move obliquely, acting like arrows to pierce the minds of Srimati Radharani and the gopis. When the arrow succeeds in hitting its target, their minds become agitated. So here, it's described how Krishna is so beautiful that the ornaments become more beautiful by seeing that. So that is the first point, that how anything that comes in connection with Krishna becomes beautiful. And same way here it is explained that the earth planet is praised because of being specifically situated by the Lord. And its beauty is appreciated and compared to that of a lotus flower situated on the trunk of an elephant. So the next point is here the analogy is given is that of an elephant carrying a lotus. How many of us have seen lotus? Those who have gone to Mayapur, is obviously there around, right? So if we see the lotuses, generally they float on water. The leaves are surrounding the lotus, and then either it's blue or sometimes pink hue or sometimes white. And the beauty is that though they are submerged in water, not a drop of water is on the leaves. Krishna's creation is. So is it that Lord Varaha was like elephant and earth was like a lotus? So generally these analogies are given so that we can relate. Now if we have to think about Lord Varaha's size, there is a nice prayer by Bilva Mangal Thakur. He says, Yadromarandra paripurti vidhavadaksha varaha janmani bhavam rami samudraha tam namanatha arvind drisham yashoda pane dvayatam snapayam babhuva. So Bilva Mangal Thakur is saying that when Lord Varaha appeared, Yad Roma Randhra, so Roma means our hairs, the root of hair, and Randhra, that there is a hole, right? If we pluck our hair, we can see a small hole, right? So Lord Varaha's the Roma Randhra, the hole of his single hair was so big that the water from all the oceans in the world, if we fill in it, it cannot overflow. And that is one hair, hole, Romarandra, hair hole. And just imagine Lord Varaha had so many hairs. And then he has his beautiful face and tusks, right? So now, if we have to think of that form, practically we don't have that experience, If we go to Venus Beach, we cannot even see after a mile, everything looks blue and white, right? So therefore, Acharyas, they give the analogies so that we can relate. So what we have seen, the biggest is the elephant, huge, right? And then the comparison is given is that, okay, elephant comes out of water like a Gajendra, we have that famous painting, right? He takes out that lotus and he just whirls in the air, whoever, oh Supreme, please come and take. And that time nobody comes, only Krishna comes, Lord Vishnu comes, right? So the lotus is very small compared to the huge body of elephant. So this same way, to give us the idea how big Lord Varaha was, they have given this analogy that Lord is compared to as an elephant and earth to a lotus. So Bilawamangal Thakur says that, yam Roma Randhra Pranipavurti Vidhaya Daksha Varaha Janmani Babhuva Ramis Samudraha, means his pores of his hair hole were so huge that the water in the whole world, even if we pour in, it cannot overflow even the one hole. And next he goes on to say, Tam Nama Natha Aravinda Dusham Yashoda Panir Dvayantam Snapayam Babhuva. He said, but the same Lord, when he comes as Krishna, rather Krishna is like source of Lord Varaha as well, Yashoda Mata takes one bucket of water and pours on Krishna and he is drenched. So now compare two things. Bilawamangal Thakur is called as a Leela Shuka, means he's immersed in the pastimes of Lord. So he's comparing these two apparently distinct and contradictory pastimes to tell us the glories of Lord. So one hand, as a Varaha, the water from the whole world cannot fill even his one hair hole. And on another hand, the same Lord, Yashoda Mata can take a bucket of water and drench him. Figure out that contradiction. Is it contradictory? Absolutely not. We have that famous story of Mochi, that cobbler and Narad Muni and Brahmana, right? Cobbler Muni goes, Narad Muni goes and he meets cobbler and he asks, I'm going to Vaikuntha. So what you want me to do? His cobbler says, offer my obeisances. Then he goes to Brahmana, he says, I am going to Vaikuntha. He says, please offer my obeisances. And after some time, Narad Muni comes. Cobbler, this Brahmana asks, did you offer? He said, yes. He said, by the way, what Lord were doing? He said, he was threading an elephant through the eye of a needle. Brahmana said, Narad Muni, you are bluffing. I think you are in a joking mood today. He said, not possible. How an elephant can go through the eye of a needle? And then cobbler asked same thing. Narad Muni says, yes, he was threading the elephant through the eye of a needle. And cobbler says, wow, my Lord is so beautiful, he can do anything. And then Narad Muni said, hey, why? Don't you think it's illogical? He said, no. He said, the seed of a banyan tree is like, very small. Actually, the fruit of banyan tree is maybe like this, circular, very small. Like we have that, what they call it, radish, right? We eat in salad. Little bit small than that. It's very, how many have you seen banyan tree? And how many have seen the fruits? And they have a huge number of fruits, very small. And if we break open the fruit, very, very small seeds. So this cobbler said, Lord has put whole huge banyan tree which can span miles in that small seed. So for him to thread an elephant through the eye of a needle is not a big deal. And then immediately Narad said, yes, go back to spiritual world. So like that, this Bilawamangal Thakur is comparing these two contradictory apparently things, but they are so beautiful. He is just relishing how Lord is inconceivable and he can do anything and everything for pleasure of his devotees. So, and then, the another point to that is, he again makes it little more interesting. He said that when Garga Muni came, he told to Nanda Maharaj, Bhuvani santi namani rupani cha sutasyate gunakarma karmanu rupani tanyam veda no janaha. So Garga Muni, he tells to Nanda Maharaj that your son, Krishna, he has many forms, many names, and all of them are existing together. So that means, if we see in connection with this prayer of Bilawamangal Thakur, Varaha Devi is there, Krishna is there, both are existing same way. One, there is no water can wash him, another, a bucket of water can drench him. So like this, the devotees, they glorify Lord's beautiful pastimes. And the third thing we say is that, it says that the Lord was looking very beautiful. Also, actually, it is mentioned that the Bhumandala is a form of a lotus. So So Lord, he was looking very beautiful as an, a big elephant, carrying a lotus. So Lord Krishna, who is the source of all this incarnation, that beauty aspect, is kind of epitomized by Krishna's, appearance. So of course Lord Bor is also, very beautiful. But that whole beauty is, the original source is, Krishna. And there are so many verses which describes the beautiful appearance of Lord, So there is one from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, chapter 2, text 12. Yanmartya Leela Yopaikam Swayoga Maya Balam Darshayata Grahitam Vismapanam Swasya Cha Saubhagadve Param Padam Bhushana Bhushanangam. The Lord appeared in the mortal world by his internal potency, Yogamaya. He came in his eternal form, which is just suitable for his pastimes. These pastimes were wonderful for everyone, even for those proud of their own opulence, including the Lord himself, in his form as Lord of Vaikuntha. Thus, his transcendental body is the ornament of all ornaments. So, Krishna's, when he appears, so same way like Lord Varaha, he appeared by the Yogamaya potency, and he was very beautiful. It is also mentioned that Lord Varaha is a personification of Vedas. Said that the Vedas are exhalation of Lord Krishna, which were inhaled by Brahma, and again Brahmaji exhaled, and from his exhalation came Lord Varaha. Those were like, the Vedas personified. And then this Lord's beauty is, of course, Varadev's, beautiful. Even the next word, it will mention about beauty of Lord Varaha. But as we know that Krishna is the source of all this beauty, and Krishna's beauty, same way, even that can be said for Lord Varaha, that it so beautiful that if we see, we won't be able to take our eyes away from it. This again beautiful verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. Yasyananam makara kundala charu karnam bhrajat kapola subhagam savilasahasam nityotsavam nattatru prudrushi bhi vibantyo naryo narascha muditah kupita nimescha. So this is in particular, describing the beauty of Krishna. It says Krishna's face is decorated with ornaments such as earrings resembling sharks. So, that this many times we know particular celebrity by the way they dress. They have a peculiar way of dressing, right? Same way Krishna, that original tendency comes from Krishna. Krishna has a peculiar way of dressing. He has earrings, but most of the times they are that of a shark shaped. His ears are beautiful, very nice. His cheeks are brilliant. His smiling attractive to everyone. Whoever sees Lord Krishna sees a festival. His face and body are fully satisfying for everyone to see. Even the demons actually, when they used to come to kill Krishna, they used to admire, hey, such a beautiful person, And of course, then their enemy and Kamsa's order used to take over. Even, only Hiranyaksha was a little foolish. He could not appreciate Lord's beauty. Rather, he spoke very ill words, and then, Lord even felt bad actually, but actually Lord was beautiful, Lord is beautiful, And his face and body are fully satisfying for everyone to see. But the devotees are angry at the Creator for the disturbance caused by the momentary blinking of their eyelids. So this is Gopi's vision. They did not wanted to miss Krishna's darshan even for a moment. They said, Brahmaji is such a imperfect engineer. He has created these eyes, but there are eyelids. They stop us, from seeing Lord because they keep blinking. So, Lord this way, when he comes in different forms, he exhibits this beauty, and then everyone gets attracted. So, even if it is like, furious, we said, Ugram Viram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvato Mukham Narsingham Bhishanam. He's very ferocious. Bhadram, but he is very auspicious. Mrityor Namamyam. So Lord came. So we see this beautiful picture of Lord here in Nrsimha also. It's very ferocious, but it's not ghastly. There is a beauty in it also, though it is ferocious. So this is the speciality of Lord and his appearances, that when he comes, he attracts everyone. Same way as that Lord Varaha did. And then these pastimes Lord performs also to give us a chance to discuss about them and remember them. Nowadays, if we see all what on internet, Facebook, Instagram, what we do is that Naam Guna Lila. Discussion about Naam Gun Lila. Discussion about the name, form, activities, and attributes of some person, some bodybuilder or some beauticians or whatever. Right? So basically, these three things they are doing. They are discussing, Nama Guna Lila of some person. Why? Because that's the nature of Jivatma, to get attracted. So Lord has given he has so many names, he has so many transcendental qualities, and he has so many transcendental pastimes. And why he has given us? So that we can easily remember. When we are washing our hand or feet, we can see or if our hairs are getting plucked, we can see, hey, the hair pour, Lord bore, one pour, all ocean water. So easy to remember Krishna. Rather, it's difficult to forget Krishna if we are just little conscious. Because Krishna there is nothing that cannot be related to Krishna. So, specifically, Lord comes, and when one is always thinking of this Lord, then what happens is naturally our heart gets purified, and at the end of life, when it will be very difficult for us to remember Krishna. How many of us have been bitten by a scorpion? Somebody? Oh, Prabhuji has bitten. Must be very painful, right? Yeah. So 40,000 scorpion. I have not bitten, so I cannot, but I have heard, it's very painful. So, can we think, but I know, I have fallen, and when there is a lot of pain, it's very difficult to remember Krishna. And just, extrapolate it to 40,000 times of whatever the greatest pain you have. So it's very difficult to remember Krishna at the time of death. But if we lead our life by discussing these beautiful pastimes, then Krishna will force his remembrance, and that way, and he will take us back to spiritual world. So to summarize, we discussed that how here in this verse it is mentioned that when the earth was sustained by Lord Varaha and she was looking very beautiful. So anything in connection with Lord becomes very beautiful. We saw example of the Krishna's ornaments and even this earth, and how even Putana, And then the second point was the material analogies are given for us so that we can relate. Here Lord Varaha is compared to an elephant, and earth is compared to as a lotus flower. But if we see the actual size of Varahadev, we saw that, is so huge that we cannot even build a temple. Even Brahma cannot build temple. So we are very thankful Lord comes as Archa Vigraha, and we can see him. So he was so huge that his one hair pore cannot be filled even with water from all ocean. But the same Lord, when he comes as a Krishna, he can be drenched with a one bucket of water by Mother Yashoda. So Bilawamangal Thakur is, was explaining this apparent contradiction in glorifying Lord's pastimes, and then we saw that how Lord Bor was so beautiful, and we saw that Krishna's beauty is the source of all beauty, and Lord comes in any form, he is always attractive. So we'll end with a prayer that when we always think of Lord like this, our consciousness will get immersed, and then we won't be even if we are doing daily things, we can still remember Lord. And the epitome of this consciousness is gopis. Is again a beautiful verse by Bilawamangal Thakur. It says, Vikretu kama kila gopa kanya murari padarpita chitta vritte dadyodakam moha vashadavochad govinda damodara madhaveti. So the gopis, when they went to sell the milk and yogurt and to Mathura, instead of, because they were constantly thinking of Lord Krishna, instead of calling out, milk is for sale, curd, yogurt is for sale, they cried out, Govinda, Damodara, Madhava. So let's pray that may we develop this some attraction for this towards the beauty of Lord Krishna and Lord Varahadev. So with this, we'd like to stop. Any questions, comments? Yes, bro.
This 40,000 scorpions, I used this in Bhagavad Gita class because I heard it many times when I was attending Bhagavad Gita classes, and Prabhu asked me if I had a reference, and I didn't have a reference, so I went to my Shiksha Guru, asked for reference, and I still haven't got reference. So I'm wondering if you have a reference, and I'm hoping you didn't hear it from me because I don't want to be the cause of...
Reference of what?
This 40,000 scorpions, this pain...
Oh, it comes in Garuda Puran.
Okay.
Garuda Puran, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know verse, but it's for sure it's in Garuda Puran. So you can mention. Reference is in Garuda Puran. Okay. Okay. Anything else? Okay. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, लॉर्ड शिवराह देव की जय, शील प्रभुपाद की जय, निताय गुरु प्रेमानंद।